भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददान्ति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण विष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते जय हनुमंत। So, Hare Krishna to everyone. So, today we will look into the second chapter of fourth canto. So, in the last session, we have seen how Shankpani Prabhu has mentioned about the lineage of Swayambhuva Manu, which is mentioned in the chapter 1. So, I would just give a quick recall from where we are now in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in the last part of third canto, we have seen the teachings of Lord Kapila. So, Lord Kapila is actually son of Mother Devahuti. And in this section, we are looking into the dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu. So Swayambhuva Manu, along with Satrupa, Mother Satrupa, so they managed from Lord Brahma's body, and they have 3 daughters and 2 sons. So in the last part of the third canto, we have seen about Mother Devahuti. So we see that Mother Devahuti is having 9 daughters and 1 son, and we have also seen elaborately how Lord Kapila, no, who is the Supreme Lord himself, is giving his teachings. So now in this fourth canto, first chapter, we have seen the lineage, or we have seen the uh, childrens of other daughters and sons. So apart from Devahuti, the daughters are Akuti and Prasuti. And Swayambhuva Manu is having 2 sons, who is Uttanpad and Priyavrata. So this canto, we will see about uh, childrens of Prasuti, especially about Mother Sati, probably till 8th chapter of this canto. And from there, we will see the genealogical order of Uttanpad and Priyavrata. So that would almost cover this canto. So basically, this fourth canto and fifth canto of few chapters would be actually about Swayambhuva Manu's dynasty. So in the first chapter, we see that Suta Goswami, he mentions about the childrens of Akuti. So Akuti is married to Prajapati Ruchi, and they beget Yajna and Dakshina. And then again, Yajna and Dakshina also they get married. So basically, Yajna is actually the form of the Supreme Lord, and Dakshina is also actually plenary expansion of Mother Lakshmi. So, Swayambhuva Manu, he knows that Akuti would beget the Supreme Lord. So, before they beget the children, Manu request Akuti that whatever son she begets, he would adopt him. So when Yajna is born, so he is adopted by Manu, and then Dakshina is born also, who is also Mother Lakshmi. And once they grow up, both of them get married, and they also beget 12 sons. So similarly, we see that the mention of Prasuti is given. So Prasuti, who is the other daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, is married to Daksha. So Daksha is a Prajapati whose sole dharma is to progenate the whole universe, to populate the universe with Jivatmas. So when Prasuti is married to Daksha, they have 16 daughters. And in the first chapter, we see how these 16, of these 16 daughters, how 13 daughters are given to Dharma and how they beget children's. And there is also mention of a 14th and 15th daughter who is Swaha and Swadha. And at the end, we see Suta Goswami mentions about Mother Sati. And he mentions that Mother Sati is married to Lord Shiva, but he also mentions that they together don't have any child. So he mentions that Mother Sati, along with Lord Shiva, doesn't have any child because Mother Sati, she gives away her body uh, because her father Daksha offends Lord Shiva. So this is where the first chapter ends. So in this second chapter, which we are discussing today, which entitles Daksha curses Lord Shiva. So when Vidura he hears that no, all the daughters of Swayambhuva Manu and their kids also have progeny, but Mother Sati is not having any child, so he becomes very astonished that no, how Mother Sati is not able to have any children with Lord Shiva, and why she has given up her body by herself, and how is that Daksha could actually curse Lord Shiva? Because Vidura he sees that no, Daksha is a very great personality. No, he is actually son of Lord Brahma, and his whole sole reason is to progenate the whole universe. And if you look at Mother Sati also, the name Sati itself says that she is the most chaste wife. So now he becomes very intrigued, like how a personality like Mother Sati can give up her body. And we all know, like Lord Shiva, he is a great personality. He is actually he's also a son of Lord Brahma, but he is very different from other demigods. So when these three famous personalities, they have their own, right? They are great in their own personality. How is that there is such a great conflict that no, Daksha has cursed Lord Shiva, and then in turn, Mother Sati has given up her body. So this is the inquiry from Vidura at the start of this chapter. So Suta Goswami he mentions that once there was a big sacrificial arena where all the demigods, along with Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all other munis, they were present in that sacrificial arena. And Daksha has walked in this arena. And when Daksha has walked in, so all the demigods and Rishi Munis, so they get up from their seat and they actually offer obeisances, or they offer their respects to Daksha. But Daksha, he observes that Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they have not got up. So it is understood that Lord Brahma has not got up because Lord Brahma is father of Daksha. So obviously, it is Daksha's duty to pay respects to Lord Brahma. So then Daksha, he goes to Lord Brahma and he offers his respects. And besides Lord Brahma, we see that Lord Shiva is sitting. And then Daksha, he sees that Lord Shiva is not paying any respects to Daksha, because Lord Shiva at that moment, he is also meditating on the Supreme Lord, it is mentioned. But Daksha thinks that though Lord Shiva is elder to him, so actually both Lord Shiva and Daksha are childs, so they are they actually come, they take the form from Lord Brahma's body only, actually. But Lord Shiva is elder, and actually Lord Shiva is actually in a different league, right? So he's like he's very different from other demigods. And obviously he's elder to Daksha. But Daksha thinks that because Lord Shiva is married to his daughter Sati, he becomes his son-in-law, and it is duty of a son-in-law to respect father-in-law. So this is what Daksha thinks of. So the moment he feels that no, Lord Shiva is not giving him the required respects, so he announces in the whole assembly that no, this Shiva, no, he is actually a great personality, right? So, no, under whom all this, no, who's having lot of followers, he is actually imitating, to be a great personality, right? So he says that I am not speaking out of envious about him, but it is a minimum etiquette, no, for him to give respect to his elders. So this is how Daksha starts speaking. So here we see that Daksha is expecting some respects from Lord Shiva, and he is announcing in the whole gathering that no, he is supposed to respect me, but he is not respecting me. And then he goes on blaspheming Lord Shiva, right? So he says that no, he's shameless, no, he doesn't have any place to live. He lives in a crematorium with all ashes around his body. He doesn't keep himself clean. No, he is only for namesake he is auspicious. So actually Shiva means all auspicious, but he is not at all auspicious. He is not externally clean. He is not internally clean. No, only because Lord Brahma, who is my father, insisted. So because he insisted, I gave my daughter to him. So actually he is not qualified to get married to my daughter also. So this is how Daksha, he goes on a very lengthy blasphemy of Lord Shiva. And at the end, he curses that because he has not given proper respect to me in this sabha, in this assembly, so he curses that Lord Shiva would not get any share during any sacrifices. So usually whenever there is a yajna or there is a sacrifice, so all the demigods take their share, and then whoever is doing the sacrifice, they get blessed by all the demigods, right? But here Daksha is saying to Lord Shiva that you will never get any share when anybody performs sacrifice. So Prabhupada mentions that in the purport that no, actually it is uh, uh, what is it? It is actually a vara. Actually, it is not a curse, but it is a boon for Lord Shiva that he need not actually take part in this fruitive, no fruitive activities share, right? Because when we see the demigods, they are very keen to take their share in the sacrifice, and by taking share, they actually become satisfied, or they become powerful because all the people are offering their share, or they're offering the sacrifice to all the demigods. But Lord Shiva is not like the other demigods who are still in the material modes of nature, right? Lord Shiva is like he's detached to the material senses or material enjoyments. So he is actually never bothered about taking his share in any of the yajnas. So Prabhupada mentions that actually this is a boon for Lord Shiva. So after this, no, when um, Daksha curses Lord Shiva, then Nandishwara, no, who is actually follower of the Lord Shiva, he becomes very agitated, no, and then he counter curses all the people who are present in the assembly, who are supporting Daksha, who are not retaliating. So here we see that Daksha, for no reason, is actually talking ill, or he is blaspheming Lord Shiva. And in turn, in the end, he also curses Lord Shiva. But Nandishwara and other followers, they observe that none of the famous personalities who are present, they are opposing this. So they felt offended that no, everybody is actually in hand with Daksha's blasphemy towards Lord Shiva. So he becomes very angry, and then he start counter cursing Daksha and his followers. So he says that no, you will become bereft of the real knowledge of Vedas, which is to serve the Supreme Lord, but you would be absorbed in karma kanda. So you will just be for material sense enjoyment. No, he says that you will be attached to gramina sukha, right? So what are the material enjoyments which other living entities are attached? You Brahmanas also will get attached to this material happiness, and you will forget the real dharma of a Brahmana, which is to actually understand the purpose of Vedas, which is to serve the Lord Vishnu. And then he says that ultimately Daksha would get ahead of a goat, and you would know all the Brahmanas would actually get stuck in this cycle of repeated birth and death. So Prabhupada mentions that we can see the effect of this curse in this Kali Yuga, where we see that the Brahmanas are no more attached to the service of the Supreme Lord, but they are only attached to their own material maintenance. And once Nandishvara, he curses the Brahmanas. So Bhrigu Muni, right? So he who is part of this Brahmanical uh, Brahman. So he counteracts Nandishvara. So he curses back Nandishvara and all the followers of Lord Shiva, that all the followers of Lord Shiva would become atheist. No, they would actually become obstacles for the scriptures, right? So they would misinterpret scriptures. They would misinterpret the what say uh, the purpose of Vedas or the purpose of scriptures, and they would become actually obstacles for everyone to take up to Vedic scriptures. And he also curses that they would become intoxicated and they would actually support atheistic views, right? So like that, we see that Bhrigu Muni actually he curses all the followers of Lord Shiva. And again in Kali Yuga we can see the most of the followers of Lord Shiva, no, they actually imitate Lord Shiva. They take up to this atheistic views and they're intoxicated. They don't believe in scriptural injunctions, right? And then when Lord Shiva he sees that there is a lot of uh, curses and counter curses happening, so he just leaves the arena. So he just be an observant. He doesn't react, and then he just leaves the arena. And in the end, it is mentioned that whoever is present for whatever sacrifice they have been gathered, so they would actually spend thousands of years and they would complete the sacrifice. And then it is mentioned that in the next chapter, actually, it is mentioned like what conversation happens between Lord Shiva and Sati after this episode. And then again, how Mother Sati decides to come back to another function which is held by Daksha, and where everybody is invited, but Mother Sati is not invited. Even at that point of time, Lord Shiva, he forbids Mother Sati, to go to her father's house, but still Mother Sati insists that no, she wants to meet her mother and relatives. Then she goes to this function, and then we would see how Daksha, he again blasphemes Lord Shiva in that context, and Mother Sati could not take the blasphemy on her husband Lord Shiva, and then she gives up her body. So these are the action, which happen in the next few chapters. But this chapter is mainly it talks about how Daksha he curses Lord Shiva, and then how this counter curse of Nandishvara and Bhrigu Muni happens. So Nandishvara he counter curses Brahmanas, and then Bhrigu Muni, he counter curses the followers of Lord Shiva. So we can see that there are so many episodes, where people get agitated or they are envious, or we see that for a very simple act, they overreact. So here also we can see that Lord Shiva has not offended Daksha purposefully, or he has not offended him by his words or actions, right? So we see that he's simply sitting there meditating on the Supreme Lord, but Daksha, he takes it to offense. So we see that this is not uh, this is Daksha's anger is not momentarily, right? So many a times we see that when no at a moment a person could be angry with another person because of some momentary action, right? So probably when we are doing some services and maybe someone is not responding properly to a particular service, maybe someone could get agitated and be angry at that moment that, oh no, can you please do this service in this way, something like that. So that anger is momentary, right? So there is no enviousness in that person's heart against that person for that moment. It is only that momentary that a person becomes angry for a particular reason, and then the anger subsides actually after a certain time. But the anger we see here in Daksha is out of great envious, right? Because we see that he also mentions so many things about Lord Shiva. He also mentions that no, he's not interested in giving Mother Sati, who is his daughter, to Lord Shiva, but only when Lord Brahma insisted, he had given his daughter for the marriage with Lord Shiva. So this seems to be a very deep-rooted, no enviousness which Daksha had, and then he took this moment to actually blaspheme Lord Shiva. So we see a similar case, but a totally different outcome in case of Parikshit Maharaj. So in case of Parikshit Maharaj also, Parikshit Maharaj becomes agitated by an act of Brahmana, right? So we all know that when Parikshit Maharaj, he is in forest, he goes for hunting, he becomes very thirsty. And when he comes to a hermitage of a Brahmana, so he requests for water, but he doesn't get any. He is not received properly, or he doesn't get any response. So, out of anger, Parikshit Maharaj, he puts that dead snake around the around the neck of that Brahman who is meditating actually, and then because of this act, he gets cursed by the Brahmana's son that he would get killed in within 7 days by a snake bite. So once Parishit Maharaj hears about the curse which is given to him, he doesn't counteract, right? Even the Brahmana whose son has cursed, he comes and he actually uh, he actually responds to that, no, that Parikshit Maharaj has done a very small act. Why you should actually curse him so severely? No, why should you actually counteract with such a severe punishment? No, death is not uh, no actually appropriate for his action. He would have done some mistake, but it is very small mistake. But you should not have counteracted him by giving him a death sentence. But still, Parishit Maharaj, he accepts as a will of the Lord, and then we see that no, this raises to a situation where Parishit Maharaj gets to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from another Brahmana, Sukadeva Goswami. So now here we see that Parishit Maharaj is acting totally different from how um, uh, he's acting totally different from Daksha. But we see that he's in line with Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, he has been blasphemed in this no sacrificial arena in assembly of so many great personalities, but he doesn't get agitated. So like Parishit Maharaj, Lord Shiva also no, he thinks that this is the will of the Lord, and we all know that Lord Shiva is detached to the material sense perceptions, right? And then he walks away. So, but in case of Parikshit Maharaj's son, who is Janmejaya, we see a different outcome, right? So when Janmejaya, he actually comes to know that no, his father Parikshit Maharaj has been killed by a snake bite. So he vows that he would kill all the snakes in this universe, and then he starts preparing for a great sacrifice where automatically all the snakes are coming into sacrificial fire and they're getting killed by themselves. So here we see that Janmejaya, he acts totally different from his father, where he's very much agitated that no, snake is the cause of his father's death. So he performs this sacrifice to kill all the snakes. So he becomes inimical to all the snake community, right? So how we see that Nandishwara, he actually takes offense of Daksha doing offense to Lord Shiva, and then Nandishwara becomes inimical to the whole Brahminical community. And similarly, Bhrigu Muni also, he becomes, when he hears the counter curse of Nandishwara, so he's not just cursing Nandishwara, but he's actually cursing the whole community, the followers of Lord Shiva. So here also we see that Janmejaya, similarly, on the similar lines, he also becomes inimical to the whole community, right? So Prabhupada mentions that no, it is not good for a person to become inimical uh, to a whole community just because of a certain person's acts, right? So in today's life also we see many people uh, when they see someone does something uh, grave, so they become inimical to the person's community, right? So this is very much frequently we can see in this Kali Yuga. So if there is someone coming from outside to probably Bangalore, and probably he's a North Indian, he does something, then there is a rage, no, which raises among local people against all the North Indians, something like that. So we have seen many situations, right? So many a times, like in different states, they become inimical to other community states. So which is very wrong, because we cannot actually hold action of one person for the against the whole community and try to overreact against a community. So again, we see the example of Dhruv Maharaj also, right? So when Dhruv Maharaj, brother Uttama, when he's killed by a yaksha, by a demon, even Dhruv Maharaj, he becomes inimical to all the yakshas, and then he goes on to kill all the yakshas because some yaksha has killed his brother. So even at that point of time also, Swayambhu Manu, he comes and he actually pacifies Dhruv Maharaj. So in case of Janmajaya also, no, Brihaspati, he comes and he pacifies Janmajaya that no, it is not good on his part to actually kill or take enmity against the whole community, right? So these are the things we see on a day-to-day basis in Kali Yuga also, that a person becomes inimical towards a community. But there are many examples we can see from scriptures also, where uh, which are in line with Lord Shiva, right? So in Bhagavad Gita also we see that Lord Krishna, he mentions in 12th chapter 12.15, he mentions Yasman no jvite loko lokan no jvite chaya harsha amarša bhaya vedgair mukto yasa me priya. So he's mentioning, Lord Krishna is mentioning that anyone who doesn't agitate others and who is not agitated by others, right? And who is not agitated from the situations arising from harsha, happiness, amarsha, distress, bhaya, fear, and udveg, from anxiety. So Lord Krishna is mentioning that anyone who is free from being agitated in a situation, who is free from happiness, distress, fear, and anxiety. So Lord Krishna is mentioning that Sacha me priya. So that kind of a person is um, very priya to me. Right? So even Prabhupada many a times he mentions that no, a person's caliber is decided when he's put in a provoking situation. Right? So in a very normal situation, everybody probably could behave very nicely. But when a person is provocated, agitated, during those times, how a person actually behaves actually talks about a lot about the character of that person, right? So in from scriptures we can see many examples, like from the story of Prahlad Maharaj also we can see that Prahlad Maharaj is provoked by his father Hiranyakashipu many a times, right? So it is not only by words, no, he actually gets harassed. He has to go through many situations where he's being trying to put to death by his father, but still Prahlad Maharaj is not agitated in any of those situations. And then we can see finally when Lord Narsimhadev, he comes and he kills Hiranyakashipu and he becomes so angry. And in that situation, none of the demigods, no, they dare to come and pacify Lord Narsimha. Even Mother Lakshmi also is very afraid to go near Lord Narsimha. But we can see that no, Prahlad Maharaj, no, without no being fearful or being very fearless, he just goes to Lord Narsimha and pacifies the Lord, Supreme Lord. Where in the situation, even the demigods didn't dare to actually walk in, right? So we also see the episode of King Ambrish Maharaj. All right. So when Ambrish Maharaj he actually invites Dhruva Muni, and it so happens that it is a fast breaking day, and Dhruva Muni has been on fast from the previous day, and no Dhruva, sorry, Ambrish Maharaj, and then when Dhruva Muni he goes to take bath, no, to come back and have prasadam, and now Ambrish Maharaj is in dilemma because the fast breaking time is approaching, and Durvas Muni, who is his guest, no, he has not yet had his no prasadam, and it is not a good etiquette for a king to have before his guest, right? But he also thinks that no, he has to break his fast, so there is a certain rules and regulations to follow fasting also. So what he does, he just take one drop of water, the Charnamrita of the Supreme Lord, and then he breaks the fast. So in that way, he's breaking the fast and he's not also having prasadam before his guest. But Durvasa Muni, he becomes very much agitated, no, by this act. So obviously, here we can see very, no, very in parallel to Daksha's action. So here, no, Lord Shiva doesn't do anything to offend or agitate Daksha. And here also Ambrish Maharaj, he does nothing to agitate Durvasa Muni. But still Muni becomes very agitated by his action that, no, how dare he breaks his fast before me honoring Prasadam. And then he creates a demon and orders the demon to kill Ambrish Maharaj. But again, we see similar reaction from Amrish Maharaj, like Lord Shiva. Like Lord Shiva didn't take any offense. He just walked away. So here, Amrish Maharaj also in this case, he didn't counteract Durvasa Muni, nor he counteracted the demon who was created. So he's just folding his hands and he's remembering the Supreme Lord, saying that, okay, if this is your wish, so I would want to surrender to your wish, right? But immediately we see that no, Sudarshan Chakra, no, it comes and kills the demon who is after Amrish Maharaj, and then it is about to kill Durvasa Muni also. And Durvasa Muni, he runs here and there all over the universe to escape from Sudarshan Chakra. And finally, he comes to Lord Vishnu and he says that, no, you please save me from your Sudarshan Chakra. But Lord Vishnu says, no, Sudarshan Chakra will not take words from me. No, I think you should actually ask forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj, whom you have offended, probably then, oh, Sudarshan Chakra would stop. Then Durvasa Muni, he actually falls at the feet of Amrish Maharaj and he asks for forgiveness. And then we all know that Amrish Maharaj, being a devotee, no, he forgives Durvasa Muni, and then Sudarshan Chakra stops going behind Durvasa Muni. So in this case also we can learn that no how no Amrish Maharaj is, he was not provoked, he was not agitated in the provoking situation by Durvasa Muni. And we can also similarly see uh, similar act by Lord Ramachandra, right? Because we all know Lord Ramachandra was exiled by Mother Kaikeyi, right? But actually, it was a day where he was supposed to be uh, coronated as the next king of Ayodhya. So just imagine a person is being ready to become king, and then he gets this order that he has to be banished from the kingdom. Now, what to speak of living a normal life in the kingdom, but he is being ordered to banish the kingdom and then go to forest for 14 years. But we see that Lord Ramchandra, no, he doesn't become agitated. No, he doesn't become agitated against his father nor against his mother, right? He could have easily got agitated by his father also. No, what kind of a father you are, what kind of a king you are, that no, you are listening to your what to say, your wife who is envious, no, who is actually following adharma, and then you are supporting her promises and you are banishing me, you are asking me to banish my kingdom, and you are not making me king as you decided. He didn't become, actually Lord Ramchandra didn't become angry towards his father, nor he became angry towards his stepmother Kaikeyi. So he just took actually her what to say, uh, Ashirvad, or he took her blessings before going to the forest. We can see that this is a very, very major conflicting situation, but we see that how Lord Ramchandra, he maintains his composure and he's not agitated. So we can learn from so many examples from scriptures that how a person should not be agitated. So ultimately, once one is surrendered to the Supreme Lord, he understands that whatever is happening in his life, it is the will of the Lord. All right. So nothing happens without the will of the Lord. So if something is happening in our life, we should understand that is what the Supreme Lord wants us to be in, or the Supreme Lord wants us to go through the situation. Right. So in this context, actually, there's a beautiful prayer, which was recited by Radha Gopinath Prabhu in one of the lecture, which I was hearing. So Prabhu was mentioning about like many a times, many devotees feel that no, our prayers are not being answered by the Supreme Lord, right? But Prabhu mentions that no, every prayer, whatever we pray to the Supreme Lord, they all of them get answered 100%. It is only that we want in a certain way, but the Supreme Lord knows what is best for us, and He answers our prayers in a way which is actually suitable for us. So Prabhu was mentioning that one beautiful prayer which he has written. So the prayer goes like this: "O Lord, I ask for strength, but God gave me difficulties." Right. So obviously, when you ask for strength, it is only the difficult situations which can make a person uh, get strength in their life, right? So that's why Prabhu is mentioning here that no, that a person asks for strength, but God gives them difficulties. I ask for wisdom, but God gave me problems to solve, right? So here also we can see for a person to have wisdom, so obviously he has to go through many problems and solve and get experience. Then only one can gain wisdom. Then he mentions that I ask for courage, God gave me dangers to overcome. Right? So a person can simply cannot have courage, right? So he has to be put in so many situations, like how Lord Shiva is being put in, how Lord sorry, Parishit Maharaj is put in, how Prahlad Maharaj is put in, or for that matter, Amrish Maharaj or Lord Rama. No, in whatever situations, no, they're all situations of agitation or situation of danger. So only then a person can learn to have courage. I asked for patience. God forced me in a situations where I was forced to wait, right? So in order for the Lord to teach us patience, so obviously He would put us in a situations where we would be forced to wait for some things to happen, and automatically there is a lot of patience, we actually imbibe. And He says, I ask for love, God gave troubled people to help. So obviously when you are among troubled people, then actually you can actually uh, value the love, right? And I asked for favors, God gave me opportunities. All right. So in this short prayer, Radha Gopinath Prabhu was mentioning that no, we may have so many things to ask to the Lord, but we get what we need. It is not that what we ask for. So the Supreme Lord knows what we need, and He awards us with that. So basically, all the prayers, whatever we pray to the Lord, they all get fulfilled, but probably in a different way than what we would expect actually. So in this whole episode, we can see, we can learn how not to be agitated in provoking situations, and actually how to respect, because once we overreact in a particular situation, so it would end up like here, like where curses and counter curses happens between people, and then the situation becomes very worse, right? So just to handle the situation in a very matured way, so we can learn from Lord Shiva that no, it is good for us to not get agitated in any provoking situations, and probably practically deal it with advice of some seniors or advice of shastras. So I think with this, I would conclude today's session. So let me know if anybody is having any comments or any questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
Wonderful session, Prabhuji. And as always, our problems and our like doubts are always cleared by your discourse and classes. So you have very nicely advised how to react or how to tackle the difficult situations. And this is the last part only which I am telling. But the whole class was informative and very, very like practical class. It is always, I will say, addressing all our problems. Like in day to day life, we are facing so many situations where we get agitated or we are like how to deal with it. But when we listen to classes and when we are hearing this type of things which you are telling, we are already like getting solutions for all the problems and our mind is calmed. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Prabhu, thank you for the wonderful class. And many times this is a situation of all of us. Especially, I'll talk about me that we get agitated in the reverse situation is there. But you have given very good examples, Prabhuji. But Prabhu, when actually the problem comes, we we forget these examples, and then sometimes we react. We try to control also, but many times we are not able to, and we in our mind, especially even if as Vaishnava as we are growing now in bhakti, but we try to not to speak, things to others, but in our mind we'll keep, keeping some grudges or some bad feelings, that doesn't go, or we offend sometimes Vaishnavas. How to avoid that, Prabhuji? What we can do for this, Prabhuji?
So I think now it is mentioned in, like we also know generally, if anybody is genius, right, by nature they would not say that I am genius, right? It is very understandable. So similarly, if a Vaishnava would not say that I am a Vaishnava, right? So we should understand that no, we should not expect respects. We should not think that I am right in every situation. There is nothing I can commit mistake. So we are all prone to the four defects. In one of them is that we are all prone to make mistakes, right? So in any provoking situations, one thing is we think low of us, that we also give a benefit of doubt to other person, that probably no, he's right or she's right, or probably not sure, like whether in the situation how I've acted is right. So on a face value it may seem that okay, it is right, but I think it is always good for us to give benefit of doubt and probably consult seniors in any situation, like not to get agitated that at that moment of act, and then probably take a step behind, and then probably consult with someone, explain the situation, put your thoughts, put how the other person has acted and what made you agitate in that particular situation, and probably hear from them. And then probably I think this exercise would help. Probably it may not be an immediate thing which we all can do, but I think we can just keep this in mind and try to perform this exercise. So if you look into all the Vaishnava bhajans, so they are all great personalities. They are like, no, they are actually what to say, uh, they're all come, all our acharyas, right? All the Goswamis, they have come to this material world only to give this bhakti process to us. So they are no, they don't come like us out of karma or out of material desires. But still, if we go through their bhajans, no, they always say that no, I'm so fallen, no, only your Harinam, only Vaishnava, Dhul, Padadhuli, no Vaishnavas, like what to say, Juta, no, these are only these things only can save me. So we can take example from our Acharya, like how they are feeling, no, all the great devotees from the scriptures, from all our Acharyas, in any Sampradaya we see. So they always talk low about themselves, no, they say that no, I have so many bad qualities, I'm not fit, so you please save me. So I think we also have to inculcate that mood. So once we have that mood in any provoking situations, I think we would take a seat back and try to retrospect ourselves uh, in rather than probably retrospecting the other person. So I think this exercise could help us, of being less agitative in situations, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. So you mentioned, Prabhuji, that ego is the problem. That we think that we are, we want respect, and that is why this happens. And then we are not humble also. So from acharyas, we can learn to be humble. And then if we practice this, we can do better in our achar, Prabhuji. Right, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, Mataji, yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanda Pranam. Thank you.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the very practical lessons which you explained today. These are things we forget when we come in line of fire many times. I was just recalling you gave a practical lesson when we together had a small incident of touching of a car with another guy. How you asked me to move out of the situation. I was actually not very much ready to move out, but I think that was a very right Vaishnava way of handling a situation and then coming out of the problem, and it worked extremely well. So I always remember this, and today I was just remembering when you were taking the class how we should behave when such a situation happens. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.